Hachama merosh ha'ilanot nistalka Bovenet likrat Shabbat ha'malka Bovenet likrat Shabbat ha'malka Hachama merosh ha'ilanot nistalka Bovenet likrat Shabbat ha'malka Bovenet likrat Shabbat ha'malka Hinei yoredet hakdosha Hinei yoredet habrucha Hachama merosh ha'ilanot nistalka Bovenet likrat Shabbat ha'malka Bovenet likrat Shabbat ha'malka Hinei yoredet hakdosha Hinei yoredet habrucha Hachama merosh ha'ilanot nistalka Bovenet likrat Shabbat ha'malka Bovenet likrat Shabbat ha'malka
Shabbat Shalom, Shana Tova, and good Yontif to everyone. It's so nice to see you after the summer and after this beautiful week that we've just had here in lovely Napa Valley. I'm excited to welcome this new year with you, 5,784. The Jewish people have been around for a long time, and I'm excited as we venture ahead into this new year to do it with you. The rabbis say that the synagogue is really three different things. It's a Beit Knesset, it's a house of gathering, it's a Beit Midrash, it's a house of study, and it's a Beit Tefillah, it's a house of prayer. And the synagogue is supposed to engage us holistically, body, mind, and soul. And we're going to be doing that over these next 10 days together between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. We're going to be gathering together, we're going to be studying together, and we're going to be praying together. And I invite you to join me on that journey internally, but in relation with one another during these high holy days. And I ask you to embark on that pilgrimage together in fellowship, in friendship, and in love, starting now.
We return, we return, we return, return again. We return, we return, we return, return again to love, love, love. return. We return. We return. Return again. We return. We return. We return. Return again to truth, to truth. Return to truth. Okay. Hashkivenu Adonai Elecha ben Ashuva Kadesh Yameinu Kekedem. Your part. Yalla lai la lai lai, yalla lai lai la lai, yalla lai la lai lai. Yalla lai lai la lai, yalla lai la lai lai, yalla lai 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 lai, lai lai lai. Yalla lai lai la lai, yalla lai lai la lai, yalla lai 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 lai. Yalla lai lai la lai, yalla lai lai la lai, yalla lai 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 lai. We return. We return. We return. Return again. We return. We return. We return. Return again to you. To you. To you. We return again to you.
We continue our service on page 9, and I would like to invite Roberta Solomon to please join me at the bima.
The time is now. We've gathered round, so bring all of your gifts and bring all of your burdens with you. No need to hide, arms open wide. We gather as one to make a makom kadosh. We come to tell, we come to hear, we come to teach, to learn, we come to grow. And so we say, the time is now. Sing to the one, God's presence is here. Shekhinah, you will dwell among us. We will make this space a holy place, so separate, so whole. Rejoice every soul who enters here.
Page 11. And for our candle lighting, I'd like to invite Fred Goldman to please come up to the bima.
The first mitzvah in the Torah is, let there be light. So we are commanded, in everything you do, be a menorah, a bringer of light. Live with honor, act with integrity. Do your work with passion, and in the radiance of your deeds will live after you. May our ideals burn bright, forever unextinguished, and may we live our lives like the flames we kindle, always stretching upward, striving for the good, reaching for you. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvot tov, v'tzivonu lahadlik ner, shel Shabbat v'shel Yom Tov. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, shehechiyanu v'kimonu v'higiyanu lazman hazeh.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner, shel Shabbat v'yom Tov. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, shehecheyanu v'kiyamanu v'higiyanu lazman hazeh.
I mentioned at the outset that we are all on a journey together on this Rosh Hashanah during these days of awe, an internal pilgrimage. And it is truly an interior journey that each and every one of us is supposed to make at this time. But in order to make an inner journey, we have to get in touch with our hearts. And there's a beautiful poem I want to share with you that I've shared before about that theme. It was written by a poet named Delmore Schwartz, who was a very important influence on the musician Lou Reed. And he wrote in the middle of the 20th century. This is a poem he wrote called All of Us Always Turning Away for Solace. All of us always turning away for solace from the lonely room where the self must be honest. All of us turning from being alone, at best boring, because what we want most is to be interested. Play billiards, poking a ball on a table. Play baseball, batting a ball on the diamond. Play football, kicking a ball on the gridiron. 70,000 applauding. This amuses. This indeed is our solace. Follow the bouncing ball. O fellow, follow, see what is here and clear. One thing repeated, bounding, evasive, caught and uncaught, fumbled. Follow the bouncing ball. And thus you follow, fingering closely your breast on the left side. The bouncing ball you turn from for solace.
This is a song that's by contemporary poet and songwriter John Mayer. Sing along if you know it. I hate to see you cry, lying there in that position. There's things you need to hear, so turn off your tears and listen. Pain throws your heart to the ground. Love turns the whole thing around. No, it won't all go the but I know the heart of life is good. You know it's nothing new. Bad news never had good timing. Then the circle of your friends will defend the silver lining. Pain throws your heart to the ground. Love turns the whole thing around. No, it won't all go the way it should, but I know the heart of life is good. Pain throws your heart to the ground. Love turns the whole thing around. Fear is a friend who's misunderstood, but I know the heart of life is good. I know it's good.
Our call to worship, the Baruch Hu, is on page 20. If you are able, please rise.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Leolam Vaed.
Please join me at the bottom of the page. Blessed are you, Adonai. Your great name fills the universe with majestic might. Your word creates twilight and dusk, as your wisdom opens the gates of night. Your discernment separates the changing seasons and causes the passage of time. The stars arrayed across the sky reveal your design. You roll out the cycle of darkness and light, shaping day and night. You sweep away day and carry the world into nightfall, setting day apart from nighttime. You are God of all we can perceive and all that is beyond our perception. Living, eternal God, be our sovereign to the end of time. Baruch atah Adonai ha'ma'ariv ha'ravim. Blessed are you, Adonai, creator of twilight and dusk. Love beyond all space and time, your love enfolds your people, Yisrael. We receive it in your teaching, your gift of Torah, sacred obligations, discipline, and law. So let us speak these teachings when we lie down and when we rise up, and find joy forever in your Torah and mitzvot. They are the very essence of our life, ours to ponder and study all our days. May we never lose or be unworthy of your love. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael, for you are blessed, the one who loves your people, Israel.
Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael Amcha Havta Amcha Havta Torah u'mitzvot Chukim u'mishpatim Otanu limadita, Otanu limadita. Al Kain Adonai, Eloheinu b'shokbeinu, uvkumeinu nasiach bechukecha, v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha, uvmitzvotecha leolam va'ed, ki hem chayenu. Ve'orech yameinu, uvahem nege yomam v'layla, nege yomam v'layla. Yavatcha al tasir, mimenu le'olamim. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev amo Yisrael, Ohev amo Yisrael.
The Shema is on page 26.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed.
Seated.
V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anuchi mitzavacha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha V'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'veitecha uvlechtecha v'derech uv'shokbecha uv'kumecha ukshartam la'od al yardecha v'hayu latotafot beineinecha uktavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha lema'an tiskaru Va'asitem et kol mitzvotai, v'yitem kidoshim le'Elohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem, asher hotzeti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, li'od lachem le'Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem.
Page 34. You know, many people think that religions are all about doctrines and dogmas and statements about belief or creed. But in Judaism, at least, going back to the biblical period, our religion is also about asking questions. And this is a prayer, this is a song, Micha Mocha, that begins with a question. Who is like you, Adonai, among all that are worshipped? And it comes at a very important point in the journey of the Jewish people from Exodus to liberation. There are many different melodies to this song, and Gordon, you're going to lead us in one. And you know what, this might be a good point. Do you want to introduce your musicians to us?
Nah. Yeah, of course. And I invite you, don't be intimidated by them like I am. Please sing. If you want to just listen to how beautiful. Yes. So on violin, we have Lisa Doyle. She'll be with us for tonight, tomorrow, and the Yom Kippur evening morning. Dana Bauer on everything else. Flute. Tonight, flute, oboe, and clarinet. And this is the familiar high holiday melody once again. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha ne'edar ba'kodesh, Yorah tehilot oseh felet, malchutecha ra'uvanecha, bokei hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam. Ze'eli anu ve'amru Adonai imlo le'olam va'ed V'ne'emar ki fada Adonai et Yaakov Ug'alo miyad chazak mimenu. Baruch atah Adonai, Baruch Shemo, Ga'al Yisrael. Amen.
We're at the bottom of page 36, and I invite you to please join me in the English. Bless our sleep with peace, Adonai, and awaken us to life when we rise. With power sublime, spread over us your shelter of shalom, and through your wisdom restore us, make us whole. Let your name proclaim your presence in our lives, be our shield, make us stronger than the enemies we face, illness and war, famine and sorrow, and stronger than the enemies in our hearts, wickedness and sin. Carry us to safety as on wings, for you are the monarch of grace, the sovereign of compassion. For you are the one who cares for us and sets us free. Watch over us, we who go forth to life. Watch over us that we may come home in peace, now until the end of time. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom aleinu, V'al kol amo Yisrael, v'al Yerushalayim. Blessed One, you spread over us a canopy of peace, a shelter of shalom over all Israel, your people, and over Jerusalem.
Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu, Hashkivenu L'Shalom, Behamidenu Shomreinu L'Chaim, Ufros Aleinu Sukat Shlomecha, Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu, Hashkivenu L'Shalom. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storm.
We're at the top of page 37, and I'd like to invite Mark Samrick to please come up to the bima.
Darkness settles slowly across the horizon. The new year rises before us, its fragile moon awaiting our embrace. Heaven and earth entwine in their annual dance of recreation. A fissure appears in the firmament tonight, an entranceway into the new beginnings. Out beyond the swales, the sea expands and contracts, keeping time to the thrumming of the universe. Under this Rosh Hashanah sky, the path before us is uncertain. All we can do is hold each other tight as we make our way home.
The Chatzi Kaddish is on page 40.
Yitkadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah. Amen. B'alma divrei chirutei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael b'gala uv'izman kariv v'imru amen Yehei Shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam ul'omei almaya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal Shemei Kudashah Barichu La'ela U'ela Mikol Berchata V'shirata Tushbechata V'nechemata Damiran Bialma Ve'imru Amen.
The Amidah is on page 42. Again, if you're able, please rise.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel v'Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibur v'Hanora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim V'Konei Hakol V'Zocher Chastei Avot v'Imahot Umevi geula livnei b'neihem. Let's get into the same key again, okay? Leman shemo b'ahava zochreinu l'chaim melech hafetz ha'chaim v'chotenu וחוזר, ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, ברוך וברוך שמו. מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה, אמן. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, מוריד אתה. מחיי חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים, רופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה. מי כמוך רחמים, זוכר סירב לחיים ברחמים, ונאמר אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, ברוך ברוך שמו, מחיי הכל. אמן.
We are at the top of page 59. I'd like to invite Judy Nystrom to the bima.
Help me to serve you truly with purity of heart. When I hear hateful or degrading speech, let me focus on good words and worthy thoughts. When my worst instincts cause me torment, teach me to care for myself and for others. In rough waters and misfortune, let me harbor patience and strength. Make my soul a sanctuary, that your light may dwell within me. Align all my acts in pursuit of goodness, so may I be a vessel of holiness, serving you with purity and truth.
Ritzeh is on page 60.
You're up. Not to put any pressure on you, but it's time. No, after Judy. Okay, that will help everybody else relax too. Just relax, have a good time.
Just have faith.
Page 66. Peace, profound and lasting, all-embracing. Peace, let this be your gift to Israel, your people. In your goodness, author of peace, bless us and all people, every season, every hour, with a peace that is yours to give. Let us and the whole family of Israel be remembered and inscribed in the book of life. May it be a life of goodness, blessing, and prosperity. May it be a life of peace. Baruch atah Adonai, Oseh Shalom. You are the Blessed One, eternal source of shalom. Let's all take a moment now for our own silent thoughts and prayers.
Elohai Natsor Shonim Mira, Usfatai Medaber Mirma, Lim Kalalai Nafshi Tidom, Nafshika Afala Kotie, Elohai, Elohai, Elohai Natsor Shonim Mira, Usfatai Medaber Mirma, Lim Kalalai Nafshi Tidom, Benashike afala kotie Elohai, Elohai.
nisor shani mera usvatay medaber nirma Velim kalalai nafshi tidom Nafshi ke'afar lakoti Elohai Elohai Betach libi Betach libi Betach libi Betoratecha Elohai nisor shani mera Usvatay medaber nirma Velim kalalai nafshi tidom Nafshi ke'afar lakoti Elohai 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 nitzor l'shani mera Usvatay medaber nirma Velim kalalai nafshi tidom Nafshi ke'afar lakoti Elohai Elohai
Yehiu l'ratzon im refi V'hegyon libi lefanecha Adonai
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 Tzuri
Adonai
Adonai Tzuri V'golali
Page 72. Please join me at the top of the page. May the Eternal One, who blesses all life, bless and strengthen all of us who struggle against illness. May we whose lives are touched by illness be blessed with faith, courage, love, and caring. May we experience the support and sustenance of family, friends, companions, and community. May we be granted restful nights and days of comfort. We pray for refuah shlema, precious moments of healing, and a sense of wholeness in body and soul. May those who care for the sick with their hands, their voices, and their hearts be blessed with courage and stamina. May those who pursue healing through medical skill and knowledge be blessed with insight, patience, and compassion. May all of us, the sick and the well together, find courage and hope, and let us say, Amen. We turn now at this point in our service to those in need of healing from our community or those known and loved by members of our community, healing of body, healing of spirit, and healing of heart. And we ask God to bestow the bracha, the blessing of refuah shlema, full and complete healing on the following men and women: Ilana Massey, Kevin Brackett, Michelle Camissia, Joshua Hyman, Jesse Friedman, Marjorie Gilberg, Jim Mates, Brenda Flood, Sharon Blevis, Walter Wilmert, Jerry Mautner, Kirk Whitlatch, David Rabb, Jensen Beach, Aaron Ledden, Geraldine Kokich, David Mendelson, Rachel Sadek, Blake Battles, Michaela Cohen, Diane Rado Persile, Janet Marbury, Ceci Costello, Chris Del Porto, and Frankie Block. And if there are others here who wish to share the name of someone in need of healing on this Shabbat and this Erev Rosh Hashanah, I invite you to please do so. we continue with the Mishaberach.
Mi sheberach Avotenu, Mi sheberach Imotenu, Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, Leah, Hu yivarech et hacholim. Hadosh Baruch Hu Yimelech Rachamim Aleinu Leha Chalimam Ulrapotam Ulrachazikam Ulhazikam Hakadosh Baruch Hu. Yitzchak, Yaakov, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, Leah, Hu yivarech et hacholim.
Please turn to page 76 as we continue with Avinu Malkeinu. Are Steve and Sally Gordon here? Then I guess I'll get to do this honor myself. I'm going to open the ark, and I'm going to ask all of you to please rise. And I ask you to please respond in English to the following Hebrew. Avinu Malkeinu, Ein lanu melech ela ata. Avinu Malkeinu lema'an chal rachem aleinu. Avinu Malkeinu aseh imanu lema'an shemecha. Avinu Malkeinu shlach refuah shlema lechorlei amecha. Avinu Malkeinu kra roa gazer dinanenu. Avinu Malkeinu kodvenu b'sefer geula v'yeshua. Avinu Malkeinu zochrenu b'zichron tov lefanecha. Avinu Malkeinu aseh lema'ancha v'hoshienu. Avinu Malkeinu shma kolenu. Avinu Malkeinu chatanu lefanecha. Avinu Malkeinu chamol aleinu ve'alul aleinu v'tapenu. Avinu Malkeinu kalei dever v'cherev v'ra'av me'aleinu. Avinu Malkeinu kalei kol tsar umastin me'aleinu. Avinu Malkeinu kodvenu b'sefer chaim tovim. Avinu Malkeinu chadesh aleinu shana tova. Avinu Malkeinu chanenu vanenu ki ein banu maasim aseh imanu tzedakah v'chesed v'hoshienu.
Avinu Malkeinu, Chonenu Vaneinu. Avinu Malkeinu, Chonenu Vaneinu, Ki ein banu ma'asim. Aseh imanu tzedakah v'chesed. Aseh imanu tzedakah v'chesed v'hoshienu. Avinu Malkeinu, Anenu Vaneinu. Avinu Malkeinu, Chonenu Vaneinu, Ki ein banu ma'asim. Aseh imanu tzedakah v'chesed. Aseh imanu tzedakah v'chesed v'hoshienu. Avinu Malkeinu, Chonenu Vaneinu. Avinu Malkeinu, Chonenu Vaneinu, Ki ein banu ma'asim.
Please be seated. Shana Tova, Good Yontif, and Shabbat Shalom to all of you. It is so wonderful for us to be here together tonight, both here at CBS and watching from home. It's always comforting to know we are not alone, to see one another, to be present for each other. May this new year, 5784, be a healthy, happy, and a sweet one for each of us and for our extended families. There have been ups this past year and downs, but through it all, we have had each other to celebrate with and support each other, and that is what community is all about. It continues to be my honor and my privilege to be your rabbi at this time in world history, and to journey through life with you as your partner. The Israeli Supreme Court began meeting this week to assess the lawfulness of recent Knesset actions. Earlier this summer, as many of you know, in what seemed like a grotesque and tragic convergence, the Knesset passed the first piece of judicial reform that has ripped Israeli society apart. This occurred during the week of Tisha B'Av, when Jews traditionally mark the destruction of the temple in Jerusalem, attributed by our sages to sinat chinam, profound, bitter hatred among Jews. And we'll be talking about that concept on Yom Kippur morning. When the president of the Jewish state spoke publicly about Israel being in what he called a state of emergency, it is not an exaggeration to assert that, as the bill to limit reasonableness in judicial decisions becomes law, Israel has crossed a tipping point. Sadly, perhaps tragically, Israel is no longer the democracy it has proudly built, fostered, and maintained for the past 75 years. There has been a very powerful and negative reaction to this change, both internally and externally. Elite and experienced Israeli pilots and soldiers are refusing to serve in the reserves. Israeli streets and squares are filled with protesters. Tech and other companies overseas and here in America are rethinking their investments in Israel, a young country that was not too long ago called the startup nation. Some fear that an Israeli civil war is becoming an all too real possibility, a dire threat to the security, economy, health, and diplomatic status of the Jewish state, as well as a moral failure and an affront to Jewish values that could unravel support among diaspora Jewry here and around the world. On this Rosh Hashanah, this new Jewish year, the Jewish state is in crisis mode, not because of the threat of terrorism or an external enemy, but because of a battle over its character and soul. My friends, we are in uncharted territory. On Tisha B'Av, Jews read Lamentations, a holy book that describes Jerusalem in a state of mourning. And many observers this past summer saw distressing parallels between the government's new law, the erosion of the authority and independence of the Supreme Court, and that ancient national tragedy. Alas, the book of Lamentations begins. She dwelt among the nations but found no rest. All of her pursuers overtook her in narrow straits. The pursuers described in this biblical book, the enemies of the Jewish people, were the Babylonians, who were determined to conquer the land. Today's pursuers are a small group of extremists in the Knesset who are determined to weaken Israel's judicial system, a system that serves as the only real check on the other branches of government. This radical element is zealously committed to remaking Israel into a religious state with little interest in democratic values or citizens, be they secular, gay, or Arab, who don't share their extremist messianic views. Traditionally, the 3 weeks leading up to Tisha B'Av are a solemn period of mourning, which lead up to the saddest day of the Jewish year. This past summer, each of those 3 weeks marked the passage in a Knesset committee of requirements to move forward in expunging reasonableness as an accepted standard in Israeli law. In response and protest television footage from the air showed tens of thousands of Israelis marching the 37 miles from Tel Aviv to the Knesset. For some, it evoked powerful images of the sacred pilgrimages that the Jewish people made to Jerusalem in ancient times. But the streets of Jerusalem today are not desolate, as depicted in the book of Lamentations. They are filled with hundreds of thousands of Israelis, left, center, and right, observant and secular, who represent the majority of citizens opposed to the rapid pace and dangerous extremism of the current Knesset efforts. They are the hope for the future, the vanguard of all those who are passionate about and committed to restoring and reclaiming the balance of Israel as both a Jewish and a democratic state. According to American-Israeli author Daniel Gordis, known for his loyal defense of the Jewish state, if diaspora Jews do not sufficiently support the current protest movement in Israel, we can no longer call ourselves one people. And Gordis goes on, I am begging diaspora Jews to be on the right side of history and not remain silent at this perilous moment. This is Daniel Gordis. He's not some crazy left-winger. The tragedy here lies in the profound inability for Israelis to achieve some sort of compromise, when many of the critics of the new law themselves acknowledged that reforms were in order. To their credit, those critics of the Netanyahu government were pleading for the process to be slowed down so that they might reach a consensus. Even some proponents of the bill admitted that it was extreme, but felt that they needed to pass it while they still had the political capital to do so. The Bible tells us that Pharaoh's heart was hardened during moments of crisis. Prime Minister Netanyahu, following his pacemaker surgery, lacked the heart to listen to the clear majority of Israelis and back down, or at least slow down. Is that an unfair comparison? Maybe. But the fault for this frightening scenario can be attributed essentially to the man whose legacy as one of Israel's most effective leaders seemed assured just a few years ago. Regrettably and sadly, the combination of his multiple years in power and the prospect of facing time in prison for alleged crimes of fraud and bribery have resulted in Netanyahu forming a government dependent on radical, ultra-nationalist, and religiously ideological characters drunk with power of their own. Many Israelis are deeply worried that this chaotic time may well lead to a large emigration to the US and other Western countries of Israelis no longer willing to bear the burden of paying high taxes and risking the lives of their children in the army to support a burgeoning population of ultra-Orthodox Haredim, many of whom are underemployed and exempt from military service in the IDF. One Israeli commentator has observed that this would be the first emigration based not on economics, but on ideology, warning that the country could lose some of its best and brightest young people disillusioned by today's realities. Still, with all of these dark signs, it is critical to remember that at the core of Judaism and Jewish history, there is always hope for a brighter future. Ironically, during this past year of national turmoil, Netanyahu finally managed to unite a significant majority of the country, but in opposition, not in support. On the political side, he's united the left, center, and moderate right. On the religious side, all but the Haredim and religious nationalists stood firm for months in opposing the rush to pass legislation that could well lead the Jewish state to autocracy. The flag of Israel is waved by virtually everyone now, not just those on the right. We see it on television and in the streets. I was just talking to one of our members who went back to Israel to visit her family, and she was saying watching the flags and all of these demonstrations all over the country was a monumental experience. It was her Lebanon. It was her Vietnam to bear witness to this. Leaders from every walk of life have stepped up and spoken out about the precious and fragile nature of democracy and how it must be protected and preserved, no longer taken for granted. And the question remains for Jews around the world: is it too late? The Book of Lamentations, despite its vivid and horrific descriptions of the suffering of the Jewish people, ends on a positive note. Bring us back to you, O God, and we shall return. Renew our days as of old. Chadesh Yamenu Kekedem. The irony here is that both sides can lay claim to that statement, underscoring that the battle ahead is for the very future of the Jewish state. After 75 turbulent but robust years, its leaders are still grappling with the two imperatives of democracy and Judaism. This recent Knesset vote was a defeat for democracy. If we are ever to learn the lessons of the past, that extremism leads to chaos, and that nations are only as strong as the bonds among their citizens, it is now. Let us support our brothers and sisters in Israel as they fight the good fight. Let us make our voices in the diaspora heard in our own right. Let peace and justice take root in the Holy Land, finally and forever. Ken Yehi Ratzon, may it be God's will.
All three brothers love their father, and he's called them here today to see these papers and these lawyers and divide the old estate. All three feel that they're the favorite. He loves each of them the best. And these documents he gave them will now put them to the test. So they open up the writing that will prove the rightful heir to this home that they remember, and the right to settle there. Their own sister is a prisoner, They don't see her face to face. They've not heard her song of beauty, or felt the movement of her grace. She lives behind these bars of steel and waits for her release. Will she die, or will we see Jerusalem in peace? Each one looks at what he's given, and he studies what he's shown. They hold the map that shows possession to this place they call their home. At first they sigh with satisfaction when they see what's on their maps. Each one's given all he wanted, but the boundaries overlap. So do you wish us to be brothers? Father, help us understand. Or will we kill off all the others to claim this same piece of land? Do you mean there to be hatred in this place you built to last? And will faith just die a prisoner in this dungeon of the past? She lives behind those bars of steel and waits for her release. Will she die, or will we see Jerusalem in peace? She lives behind these bars of steel and waits for her release. Will she die, or will we see Jerusalem in peace? Jerusalem is sending her voice from inside the prison of disbelief. Stand up, you people of the one God, bring about her release. Stand up, you people of the one God, and bring about her release.
We turn now to the Kiddush on page 79, and I'd like to invite all of you to please stand up. Oh, okay.
I thought the whole congregation was supposed to tune at this point, but I think it's just me, so please stand by.
By the way, I should just mention while Gordon's tuning, it's not often that Rosh Hashanah falls on a Shabbat, so we're really doubly blessed. The liturgy isn't that much longer tonight, but the service is a little bit longer than a typical Friday night. But really, it's a double blessing to be able to observe the start of the days of awe, the High Holy Days, on a day that is also considered the most sacred of the week, Shabbat. Is that enough for you tuning?
That was perfect. Just like we practiced.
Okay.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol am v'romamanu mikol lashon v'kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'titen lanu Adonai Eloheinu b'ahava et yom hashabat hazeh ve'et yom hazikaron hazeh Yom Zichron, Trua Ba'ahava, Mikra Kodesh, Zecher Litziat Mitzrayim, Kivanu Vacharta, Viotanu Kidashta, Mikol Ha'amim, Udvarcha Emet, V'kayam La'ad, Baruch atah Adonai, melech al kol haaretz, mikadesh hashabat, v'Yisrael, v'yom hazikaron. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, shehecheyanu, v'kiyamanu, v'higianu, Lazman hazeh.
L'chaim. Please remain standing as we turn to page 82 for the Aleinu.
Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon ha'kol, la'teit gedula liyotzeh b'reshit, shelo asanu kegoye haratzot, v'lo samanu kamishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, v'gohoralenu kechol hamonam, v'anachnu korim, Mishtachavim umodim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu v'ne'emar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz hayom hahu hayom
Please be seated. It is now my honor to invite up Allison Frost to read some important announcements for us tonight. And as Allison is making her way to the Bima, I just want to offer a very special thank you to our music director, Gordon Lustig, and our guest musicians, who we introduced earlier, as well as to Lauren Snyder, our director, and all of the volunteers who have helped to make this night and what I know these high holidays will be beautiful and meaningful for everyone.
Tomorrow for Rosh Hashanah at 9 a.m., we will have the Young Family Service that focuses on infant to third grade student engagement. At 10:15 for adults, Staying through the general worship service, drop off your young programming with Mariah for kindergarten to 6th grade will be in the administrative building. Rosh Hashanah Day general worship services begins at 10:30 a.m. Everyone is invited to our annual Tashlik Potluck at Kennedy Park, Sunday, September 17th, from 10:30 to 1 p.m. Please RSVP online and remember to bring your picnic baskets and your lawn chairs. Also on Sunday afternoon at 3 p.m. in St. Helena at Ner Tamid Cemetery for Kavor Avor with Rabbi Goldstein. Shabbat Shavua Oneg on September 22nd will be hosted by Wolf and Donna Schechter in honor of their 66th anniversary. Congratulations. Are you ready to build a sukkah? Please help us build the CBS sukkah on Friday, September 29th before Shabbat service and potluck. Please, again, RSVP online and let us know what you are bringing to our dairy potluck. If any members are looking to carpool for CBS events, contact the office and let us know so Bonnie Feynman can help coordinate rides. We'd like to give warm wishes to this week's birthdays and anniversaries. Happy birthday to Tricia Florsheim, David Williams, Wendy Zitter, and Ralph Garber. And happy 66th anniversary again to Wolf and Donna Schechter. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Thank you. As we near the end of our service, our thoughts turn to loved ones whom death has taken from us in recent days, and those who died at this season in years past. Our hearts open as well to the wider circles of loss in our community and wherever grief touches the human family. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be a blessing in this new year and always. We remember those who died during the past 12 months. Joe McCaffrey, Ruth Morlett, Lords Blake, Othello Thornton, Alan Rosen, Fred Goldman, Ann Rapson, Bob Massey, Lucille Posner, Bunny Goldstein, William Bill Lenish, Barbara Cosson, Minnie Shostak, Kevin McCarville, Etta Kessler, Faye Goldstein Glick, Diana Coyne, and Peggy Dooley. We also remember and honor the yahrzeits, the anniversaries of the deaths of William Isidore Teller, Sylvia Galler, Eric L. Cochran, Bernard Water, Elizabeth Berman Brown, Esther Shapiro, Patricia Maxine Ertola, May Lubinsky, Helen DeVore, Bert Burson, Gail Vita Feingold, Samuel S. Levin, Benjamin Becker, Carol Ranganam, Eliyahu Davidyan, Morton Kaplan, and Fred Novus. And if anyone has a name they would wish to add to this list, I invite you to please do so. The mourner's Kaddish is on page 90. Please rise. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shmei rabbah, be'alma divrach heroteh v'yamlik malchuteh, b'chayechon v'yomechon uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, b'agala v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevarach le'alam ulamei amaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shmei dekudsha barichu, le'ela u'le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran ba'alma v'yimru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shmaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all those in mourning and comfort to all those who are bereaved. And let us all say amen. Please be seated. We have a concluding song, and then we're going to say motzi, and then you're all invited outside for the oneg.
Is that my cue?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I think you'll find this on page 96. There's a lot of words. But it's fun, and you can just sing la la. You can listen to the beautiful klezmer clarinet playing. So we'll see if we can get through it. But it'll be fun anyway, whatever happens. Here we go, Yigdal. I'll give you 2 bars, ready? 1, 2, 1, 2. Yigdal Elohim chai v'yishtabach nimsa v'einet El Matziuto, Nimsa ve'en et El Matziuto, Echad ve'en Yachid, Ke'ichudo, Ne'lam v'gam Simsof le'achduto, V'gam ein sof le'achduto, Ein lo demut haguf, ve'ein o guf, Lo navaroch Elav Kedushato, Lo na'aroch la Kedushato, Kamon l'chol davar asher nivra, Shon ve'ein reshito, Shon ve'ein reshito, Yai la 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 la, Yai la 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 la, Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. No, I don't know lam lechol no tsar, yotrega du lato, umalchuto, yotrega du lato, umalchuto, Shefan vuatel, Tanoel, Anshe gulato, Tifarto, Anshe segulato, Tifarto, He'll come for Yisrael, Kamoshe, Odnavi umabit, et munato, Odnavi umabit, et munato, Hurat emet, Natan la'amo, El Yad Navio, Neman Beto, El Yad Navio, Neman Beto, Ya la 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 la, Ya la 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 la, Ya la 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 la, Ya la 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 la, your last chance, La 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 la, Ya la 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 la, Ya la 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 la. I'll give you one more chance. Here we go. La 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la.
Please rise.
Beautiful.
And I invite you to join us in the motzi.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. B'tei avon.
Shana Tova, see you tomorrow.
At 57, we'll take the repeat. We'll do it just as it's written. Yep. 2, ready, and.